Are you worried about the Steelers now?
Yes. I said the Steelers should win out. If the Steelers don't win out, it's because of them. And, like, what I think, and I've said this all season. Mid-season, I said, when they were, 5-0, 6-0, I said, is the Steelers' defense so good that we're just blinded how bad their offense is, or are they legit? And to me, I think, what's one notable win that they have where they blew out like a team? The Browns, 35-6.
Mm-hmm.
Every other game is like their wins are what? I think other than that game, they've won most.
Browns, Titans, and Ravens, only notable wins. And one against the Ravens was when they were all on COVID.
Against RG3, and RG3 actually put up a little performance against them.
Yeah, a little bit.
But their offense is bad.
Yeah, it's really bad. It's putrid. It's putrid.
You can't. Nobody could just sit here and say Juju is a number one receiver in the league.
He's not.
You put him on most teams in the AFC, and I feel like he's a number 3. I don't know, bro. I'm not sold on him. I'm not sold on Deontay Johnson. I feel like later in his career, Claypool is going to be better than Juju. I like Claypool. I'm not going to lie.
No, I think Claypool is going to be a star.
Yeah.
So I think he'll be better than Juju.
Do you remember Martavis Bryant?
Yeah.
I feel like Claypool can be like him, but better. Martavis Bryant was that deep threat for the Steelers when he was playing. He's running those long routes. He's catching the ball over people, and that's exactly what Claypool's going to do. He's going to run those deep routes. He's going to catch the ball over people, fades, red zone threat. But, bro, I'm not sold on them at all, man.
Martavis Bryant, I get the comparison. If he stayed out of trouble, he probably would have been really good.
Really good, bro.
I
liked him.
I think Claypool's going to be a back-to-back 1,000-yard receiver, a great red zone threat. But, you were right. Their offense is bad and their defense hides it. Right now, they lost to Washington because they couldn't score the ball. They struggled against the Cowboys, who have a horrible defense.
Horrible, bro.
And the Ravens, whose defense is okay, but a lot of players were on COVID. And right now, their defense is getting weaker. Devin Bush is out for the year. He got injured earlier. Bud Dupree is out for the year. But right now, look, they're 23rd in total offensive yards. What's an offense that you think of in the NFL right now that's not a totally abysmal dumpster fire like the Jets? What offense do you think is horrible in the NFL that has a good team, but their offense is just holding them back?
Giants.
Okay, another team.
Damn.
I just said the Patriots.
Okay.
So the Patriots, they only have 3 more yards a game than the Patriots. And we look at the Patriots offense as something that is one of the worst in the NFL.
Horrible.
Yeah. And then when you look, they're second to last in rushing yards per game, only 89 rushing yards per game. That's only in front of the Texans, which are the worst. So they have no running game. But either way, they're 11th in scoring offense because their defense is so good.
Exactly.
They put them in great field position.
Almost, yeah, those picks that they're getting.
Mm-hmm.
Minka Fitzpatrick, love him, bro.
The only way I'd be sold on the Steelers is if their running game was okay to complement that defense. But your defense is great, but you have no running game. You're not a great passing team. So I don't see how you can go far in the playoffs if you don't have an offense.
Yeah, I have never been a fan of Big Ben. I've never been a fan of him. And now, I'm not sold on him. Even he said it yesterday. If I can't play good, I gotta hang it up. And to me, after this season, he's gotta hang it up. He hasn't really done anything this year where you're saying wow, Big Ben looked great this week. Nobody's ever said that this week. Not 1 week in the NFL.
The thing about it is, I don't know what's wrong with the Steelers in terms of offense. I just know they don't run the ball well. But with that being said, I don't want to blame it on Ben. Because 29 touchdowns, 9 interceptions, he's having a phenomenal year off an elbow injury.
Yeah, definitely.
So I don't know if it's the play calling, if it's the design. It's something off with the Steelers because they have a good offensive line. So for them not to be trying to run the ball is alarming. James Conner When he first,
he's nice, bro. I like him.
I mean, he was, James Conner, when he took Le'Veon Bell's spot, we were comparing him to Bell.
Yeah.
And now he hasn't really been the same.
He had not even 2 fantasy points yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
That's bad.
Like, the Steelers are tied first in takeaways with Miami. So they force teams to turn the ball over.
Their defense is legit.
They force teams to turn the ball over. They're third in defensive yards given up, first in defense points per game given up, so they don't give up much points on the defensive end. It really just relies on that offense, and the knock on them all year is that they don't face tough competition.
That's what I've been saying.
And their next games are against the Bengals. Then they have the Colts, which is a tough game. We're going to see how they perform against the Colts. And then their last game of the season is against the Browns. So,
that's 2 tough games back-to-back against teams that are looking to go far in the playoffs right now.
So they beat the Browns earlier in the year, but I feel like what we're seeing now is a new Browns team.
Yeah, bro.
It's a new Browns team.
They didn't even have Nick Chubb when they played the Steelers, I don't think.
Yeah, so we're gonna find out a lot about the Steelers moving forward and who they're gonna be. Mm-hmm. But it's just, I thought this offense was gonna be better than they have been. But this offense, when you look at the points per game that they score,
yeah,
it deceives you because
it really does.
They're 11th in the league. You see, wow, they score the ball, but little do you know they score only because that defense puts them in position to score.
And they're like I said, bro, I haven't watched the Steelers game, and I'm saying, wow, like they look great. Like I'm really sold, and I really think they're gonna go far. Like no, I'm just looking like you're struggling against teams you shouldn't be struggling against. Like you could say, yeah, they went 11-0, and that's really hard to do in the NFL. Because any Sunday is like any given Sunday, but I'm just like that. Like defense can only bring you so far. You got to score points to win the game.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you got to score the ball, and like you just said, 11th in scoring. You're gonna see that and say but they are scoring the ball. But like if their defense isn't taking the ball away, what would they be right now? Like
they'd be one of the worst teams. They'd be one of the worst offensively.
Like you got to keep in mind too, like their defensive pass rush is what's getting them those turnovers. QBs are trying to evade the pocket, make dumb mistakes, stupid throws, and when you're down against a team like that, you're trying to win. You want to be the team that beats that undefeated team. So now you're going to try to air the ball out and blah blah, and that's really where they get their turnovers. If you see like teams trying to play catch up, like trying to be the team that takes down the Steelers, and so their offense, I just don't, I don't see them making them that next level team. Because if you can't run the ball and you can't pass the ball, then what could you do?
Yeah, it's gonna be tough for the Steelers moving forward. They're giving me a feeling of a first game upset in the playoffs. They're giving me a feeling that they might lose that first playoff game.
Like, if they have to see the Bills again, I would say the Bills are gonna take that game. They even got to see the Colts. I think the Colts defense could shut them down.
I think so too, but I think the Colts offense is just it can't keep up.
Phillip Rivers is.
Yeah, it's not even Phillip. It's just that offense.
If you really have been watching the Colts past couple of weeks, T.Y. Hilton has been playing pretty good. He's playing like their offense is kind of coming together right now. I feel like a little bit. The running game is getting there, but Steelers, man. Frauds, bro. I've been saying they're frauds. I've been saying their offense, like their defense is just disguising how bad their offense really is.
Mm-hmm.
I would say they were the best defense in the league.
Yeah, I think too. I think they're up there definitely. They're up there definitely. All around, I think they're up there.